JanBot, the first filmmaking bot hired by Amsterdam's EYE Film Institute to bring film heritage to the algorithmic age. Using or rather abusing some of the latest artificial intelligence tools available, Jan sorts, selects and edits film fragments from EYE's unique found footage collection by associating and linking these with the latest online trending topics. With these two ingredients at its disposal, JanBot turns residual images from the past into algorithmically generated short-length fictions inspired by popular news of the day. Each day, the resulting films will be shared online over a one-year period. During this time, the bot and its algorithms will be routinely supervised and improved by its creators in an iterative research process. As soon as they are produced, JanBot will publish the films on its official website, an archive with the complete collection of its oeuvre. Once a day, JanBot will evaluate his latest works by a custom ranking algorithm, and it will automatically promote its finest video through several social media channels. The website of JanBot will contain a separate section in which articles and prototypes produced during the iterations will be published. During the year, artists, curators, and academics will be invited to publish their thoughts on JanBot and its oeuvre. The mission of JanBot is twofold. First of all, our aim is to create an online character, a virtual robot which uses headlines to bring film heritage to the present. Second, we pursue and investigate the capacities of software to serve as an artistic device to author a new kind of film, composed through algorithms mediating between databases and human creativity. JanBot makes use of highly complex software technology in a relatively simple way. It leverages freely available libraries and APIs offered by the open source community as well as commercial companies like Google. The main framework will be built on Node.js, a relatively new, but fast emerging programming environment. Node.js is known for its highly modularized approach and for having a very large active community that is publishing packages to an open source distribution platform. It allows rapid prototype development by combining existing code, and also creates a highly dynamic and social ecosystem where developers do not merely use what they need, but also review and contribute to the code. The project consists of the development of 4 independent modules that will interact with the same database. Each module corresponds to the different steps JanBot will take in processing video material of the bits and pieces collection, indexation, selection, composition and distribution.
And this is what we want to do with JanBot. We want to reflect about the state of the current state of technologies, because technology very easily becomes invisible, and that's perfectly fine.
For each trending topic detected, JanBot will compose a looping video of plus or minus 30 seconds, consisting of about 4 to 8 different fragments combined with intertitles. Along with trending topics, Google Trends provides snippets of related news articles. These texts will be used as basic input for the generation of intertitles that shape the fictional narrative of the edited film. First, the news items will be parsed using the open-source natural language toolkit, which assigns a tag to each word such as noun, verb, adjective, etc. JanBot will then take parts of the sentences, and replace certain words, mostly nouns, by similar tags that are connected to the selected shot. Thereby it will be paraphrasing the original news item and link it with the video material. It is transposing the original meaning from the historical images, by associating them to texts from the present. Similar to the rhetorical device of catachresis, it does so intentionally to create a unique expression. JanBot's first step is to index all the footage by its semantic and syntactic properties. The syntactic properties can be retrieved easily by analyzing pixel per pixel the image data using a customized version of Shot Detect. This open source program divides a video file in shots based on the difference between two frames. For JanBot we have adjusted the software in a way that will store several image properties for each shot, saturation, brightness, and level of detail. Once all the required elements are collected, JanBot can start working on the composition. In the course of time it will gradually acquire more skills in doing so. That is to say that initially the videos are composed in a relatively straightforward fashion. Using pseudo-random algorithms to interweave the shots and intertitles, a technique inspired by Doug Goodwin's Mercenary Devil Twister. The shots are cut into smaller fragments of a random length between 4 and 12 frames, which are shuffled, creating an unsequenced flow of motion while preserving a sense of unity through repetition. The selected shots and intertitles are merged and exported as a new video using the Footag video framework.
Collection. Bits and Pieces started in the year 1989 as a very avant-garde film collection. To put it in simple terms, it doesn't have any metadata. It's just found footage. Normally, collections and the way how they are building them, at least most of them, collections as evidence of a moment in history of production, for example, I don't know, commercial cinema. We take this quote from Jean Cocteau, who is an ideological guide for us. To the year 2000, he says, "I certainly hope that you have not become robots, but on the contrary, that you have become very humanized."
The video generation will be a continuous process which could take up to 1 hour per video. At the end of a day of work, JanBot will evaluate the outcome. JanBot will find the best result of the day based on the popularity of the trending topic, i.e. the number of people that have searched Google for that specific term, in combination with the quality of the matching shots, i.e. the probability that a topic matches a certain shot, and will automatically upload this video to its profile pages, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Instead of just upload the videos, JanBot will promote its new content using the social media platforms' respective advertising programs. By using their marketing API, it can carefully select a target audience based on both interest groups related JanBot, art, film, AI, etc., as well as the specific interests regarding the trending topic being used. For example, when JanBot uses a news item about a soccer match, it could target directly fans of those two teams.
So, that's ours?
Sandberg quartet.
Also not only what happens in the offices, but it is an organism which, it's a much more contemporary way of working also, to say. There's always co-authorship, there's always different expertise.
A structural approach to filmmaking. Most audiovisual narratives make use of the intrinsic ability of the film camera to represent the world in the form of photographic documentation. Such photographic nature, built by optics that capture light onto photosensitive support, enables a form expression that can be accessed by human intellect without the need of translations. Roland Barthes refers to this as messages without code. Unlike written text, drawings, or even music, we don't need to learn how to read film images to understand their basic message, because the representation of the world they offer matches the ways of human perception. Keep reading. Article Structural Film Reference Stan Brackhag Ernie Indexation Bits and Pieces. Botpoet.com, bot, or not. This website is a Turing test for poetry. You, the judge, have to guess whether the poem you're reading is written by a human or by a computer. Turing test for poetry.
always clear. It seems that it has a kind of mystic quality, and that the ones that know the secrets of the algorithm are the fortunate ones, we call it. It's the one that seeks for patterns of reproducible steps. And the artist Barbara Lantassi must have recognized this algorithm, because she reverse engineered the mechanism at work in this film, and she has created her own HF critical mass software.
John Whitney created one of the first computer-generated images in history. In the early 1960s he built an analog computer from anti-missile detectors designed during World War II. The original machines worked with two men manually operating telescopes to follow missiles. Their motion provided the necessary data for analog computers to determine ballistic equations that helped predict their direction. According to those calculations, the missiles would be targeted and destroyed. A visualization of the results obtained by this complex mechanism resembles somehow the workings of a spirograph. This is noticeable in the first collection of experiments made by Whitney and his machine, published in 1961 in the form of a promotional reel titled Catalog.
that's our presentation. It's just found footage.
Step 1 is to generate metadata for the collection. As Pablo mentioned, this is a collection without metadata, so the first step is to generate the metadata. How does that work? Well, we start with the collection as we got it from the EYE, a collection in reels, so collections of small fragments. Of course they are already digitalized, but then the first step that our software is doing here with the assistance of an open source software called Footag is cutting this material up in shots. For the process of tagging, we're using an online free image recognition software and neural networks that that are underlaying this. And very remarkable, I think, is that now let's say half of these tags really make sense. The other half maybe a little bit less sense, but this is actually what we were talking about before, also the state of the art. At this moment, this is where we are. So this is what we are interested in also, because all these tags have a probability given by this software. So it's for 0.985 certain that is to bring these images from the past into the present. So how do we define the present? Now we are the terms that people search for at a certain moment, the popular search term, the material index, we have the news, we know what is happening at the moment, and then to connect those two, we have decided that we are going to work with intertitles. So bridging these tags that were associated to the original archive and those news items from the actual essential step of composing the film. We put them in a black box and we process the shots, and out comes the final film. I come back, of course, to that point. The storing and distributing of the film, it's the final step. So first, Jan Bot is constantly working, constantly producing these films. As soon as it finishes one, it puts it in his catalog, and it just starts over again looking for interesting news items. I showed before, everything is like based on its probability. Everything has a certain score. So we could say for mostly the basic infrastructure, but the creative process will be happening in this rather undefined step where the video is produced.
Some of the latest artificial intelligence tools available, Jan sorts, selects and edits film fragments from EYE's unique found footage collection by associating and linking these with the latest online trending topics. With these two ingredients at its disposal, Jan Bot turns residual images from the past into algorithmically generated short-length fictions inspired by popular news of the day. Each day, the resulting films will be shared online over a one-year period. During this time, the bot and its algorithms will be routinely supervised and improved by its creators in an iterative research process. As soon as they are produced, Jan Bot will publish the films on its official website and archive with a complete collection of its own. Once a day, Jan Bot will evaluate his latest works by a custom ranking algorithm, and it will automatically promote his finest video through several social media channels. The website of Jan Bot will contain a separate section in which articles and prototypes produced during the iterations will be published. During the year, artists, curators and academics will be invited to publish their thoughts, which uses headlines to bring film heritage to the present. Second, we pursue and investigate the capacities of software to serve as an artistic device to author a new kind of film, composed through algorithms, mediating between databases and human creativity.